just
Okay.
to make it go down.
Nothing can be worse than Malort.
That's true, but this is not good.
Pickle stuff is good.
And Malort.
Good.
What is more work?
I've gotten used to
In
it.
Chicago,
okay.
the way it was described, honestly, is like in ashes from an ashtray, poured in with coffee grounds,
I think we're all
poured
right.
over the bar mat, and then poured into your cup.
Okay.
And it immediately starts, and you're like, oh, this is not that bad. You guys,
The aftertaste is what gets you.
oh, okay, you weren't
Good,
kidding.
good? Okay, cool. And a 1.
Oh,
And
we
a
going?
2. And a 1, 2, 3. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of
God.
Retireholics. Coming to you live from the Wealth at Work Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't know.
Please
Your
don't
energy
talk-
level's
please-
pretty
please
low there,
don't talk
JD.
like
Is it
that.
low?
It was
No,
low.
I'm fired up. Thanks for
You don't
tuning
seem
in,
like it.
Seem like you're
everybody.
hungover a little bit.
I'm only down $120.
100. I'm down.
Where'd the other
100.
20 come from?
I played a little video poker on the way back.
Couldn't help
Lost
yourself.
$100 on the blackjack table. But I was proud of myself because I played $50 bets, $25 bets. It lasted about 2 minutes.
Yep, I want to say that.
Is that
I think
about
5
right?
minutes, yeah.
Where are you guys at? I'm down. I
I'm
want to
down
know the
2.
total of the Retireholics.
You're down?
I'm up 55.
You're down 200?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I
I'm
got
down
after
100.
some wrong
so,
bets.
Ooh.
funny
Okay.
story. I was doing good, and then I had $25 left. Walked by roulette table. I was like, oh, I'll just put it on black. It hit green again.
JD?
It happened again.
I'm going to need an
It's fucking
advance
2
on next
times in a row.
paycheck, please.
I don't learn my lesson.
Sorry, say that
I'm
again.
going to need an advance on next paycheck.
You guys
He
need
needs
more
more
money?
gambling
Yeah.
tonight.
I did fund that.
I was
little
gonna say you
loss
did
last
fund
night.
half of your losses
But it
already.
was half of what you gave us last time, so the other half comes today,
All
right?
right, we're gonna be really efficient with this show.
Kind of have to be.
Says me now. We'll see.
Is the beer
Depends
show
on how much
Coors
time you
Light?
spend
The
on
beer
headlines.
show is Coors Lights.
Okay.
And yes, just in.
Cheers.
It's
we're
that
getting
time
right
of
into
show.
it.
You're gonna intro our guests.
All right, I don't think you need to tell people what I'm going to do. I think they know. You just say
world
Justin,
knows.
go
Justin,
intro.
everybody out there, this is the time of the show where
Get that thing
Oh
away.
God! No!
You honestly have no idea
gosh,
what is
no.
happening right here.
Okay, Justin, take it away.
I can't take it away right now. All right. This 3-time Chat Bar champion is a former draft dodger turned Air Force captain. 30 plus years of service, combat medals, citations. Only man to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 40 years. You won't retire, and despite your best efforts, you refuse to die. You should be at least a 2-star admiral by now. Yet here you are, guest on the Retireholics. Why is that?
It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
You got that good.
Wow.
Anyways, fun fact. Cush isn't even his real last name. It's his call sign. Given to him because he was the drug mule of the mess hall. His drug of choice, you guessed it, cannabis. And now here he is today. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Kushner.
Justin, I liked that one.
I didn't get to wrap the ending. I didn't get a nice little
It
rounded
was
out
meth,
ending.
not cannabis, by the way.
No, that's Cush.
I'm going 10 out of 10. That was
Yeah.
solid,
Oh.
Justin. And Cush, I love that you're here. Last year when we did Vegas, we kind of did shows with like chat bar people. And so you're a family of the Retireholics. You've been with us a long time. It's awesome to have you here on the couch. So I'm loving this.
It's awesome to be here. It really is.
This will be fun. We're going to play some games. You're aware of these games.
There is a little bit of it. You're behind a computer chatting, saying some things.
Yeah, see if you can hold up.
You need to hold up to
Person.
that. Yeah, you got a little
There is
pressure
some
there.
expectation
Yeah.
here.
It's fine.
Is he edgy in the chat bar?
Tries to be.
I didn't think I won 3 times.
We're gonna play these games. You're
Daniela
very-
wasn't there.
You're very,
Touche.
you're very familiar with these games. Number one is Acrosin. Acrosin starts
did.
now.
He sits up
What are we
front.
drinking? It's Kraken,
Kraken.
something.
Kraken attacks Vegas.
Okay, Kraken.
I think it's rum.
And we'll play a little Wheel of Ice. Fuck the chat bar
done.
champion today. This is an off show. We will be going this Thursday night.
Yeah, it is.
You win.
We're working on it.
Okay.
From a headline standpoint,
You guys win.
oh, you guys win, chat. Congratulations to the 3 people up there for chat bar champion.
That's the only reason they're here.
You should be over there learning, and you're here.
Are you going to
so
deliver
win.
them pizza by tomorrow's show?
Yeah, no, it's coming right now.
Okay.
I just DoorDashed
12:05.
We'll go to headlines. Headlines. Brandon, I don't know if he's sober. He probably won't be able to do headlines. But, oh, there we go. About 30 minutes ago, I asked you guys to sit down and watch a video. It's a CNBC piece on
Bing, 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 bing,
oh,
bing, bing,
shit.
bing, bing, bing.
on a retirement
Yeah.
crisis.
Cable.
Y'all watched it. Chad, maybe you can kind of lay it out for people.
Everybody that's tuning into this knows the issues that already exist. There's a
Yeah.
coverage gap. People are living longer. They're saving less. What was astonishing in there was that some 4 or 5 participants in retirement plans feel that they're on track to
It's
retirement.
actually 7
Yeah,
out of
70
10.
to 80%.
70 to 80%.
Well, hold on, there's 5 of us here. There's 5 of us here. Are you on track?
Oh, yeah.
Are you on track?
I'm definitely on track.
Are you on track?
I'm going to be working up until my funeral luncheon.
Yeah, I'm not on track. Are you on
I'm on
track?
track. Accurate.
4 out of 5.
That's right.
There we go. Exactly.
Fucking A.
My wife might disagree with that, but I feel like
Well, it depends on the life you're going to live in retirement, JD. You got a high nut to crack there.
there's some depressing stuff in there.
That's what I was
They
just going to
showed
say.
an older woman in a really crappy little apartment home.
How'd they
It was
pick
a,
her? I want to know.
She
Side
was,
by
she
She
was,
was well spoken.
Were there
I liked her.
auditions to get into that role though? Like, is it?
she was, in all honesty, she was being honest
Yeah.
and saying, hey, I'm on a mega fixed income kind of thing
She had
here.
$610 in pension and $1,500 in Social Security is what she had, and she was saying, if I need to see a specialist doctor, I can't.
Can't do
I can't
it.
afford to do it.
And so that was, and then we also saw that, what was it, 60% of small businesses are not offering a plan, which we've all heard
Yeah,
this.
it's 58.
And so the message that we were hearing was, oh my gosh, not only are we seeing these people in retirement that are struggling, we're letting down a lot of people right now. They're going to become those people in the future. Don't these hit pieces on retirement always come out when the markets are down, inflation's high? Don't you feel like this is when this stuff comes out, or am I?
I've only kind of lived through this last 15 years of massive bull run, so I don't know if I have the experience to answer that question.
But I wouldn't call that a hit piece because they were playing
Fair
both
enough.
sides of the coin. Like they were giving the pros and the cons.
But the scary retirement is failing stuff always seems to come out when these markets are down. Cush, markets are down big. They gave us some number of like trillions of dollars have been lost in the stock market over the last
3.4.
3.4 trillion. That impacts people's retirement.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's also, when you look at the other side of that argument, that remember that the news media, they're a goodwill enterprise, they're a for-profit, so they're going to put out there what's going to sell. What's
Oh,
going
you're going that route here. Oh, I didn't see that coming.
Where's the
there-
tinfoil hat?
There's truth to it, I understand, but on the other side of that argument, though, when you're having a conversation with a participant, and you try to tell them this is the time when, all right, the market's down, your 401k might be down, increase your contributions. This is when you should be doing it. And people are like, absolutely not, I want to get out. And my argument,
They're struggling to pay rent.
They need all their
What
dollars.
people can
Yeah.
actually
No, but you're
afford to.
right.
they're struggling to pay.
Stretching as far.
It isn't, but do you really miss 1 or 2% from your paycheck when they're taking
Well,
it out?
if I'm looking at 15% inflation,
And the
possibly.
people that
yeah.
are saying they
Right.
can't go see a specialty doctor.
When
You-
milk is
yeah.
$9.
Sentiment is
Well, and
right. I
don't
just
forget,
don't know
we're
the
talking
reality.
about two different types of people here. Kush, that story is very accurate to someone who's early on, or
401k.
even in the middle, they're in their 50s or 60s. Different story when you're 70, 75,
Yeah, right.
and you've built up as much as you can, and then you take this massive hit. That they're in a different position, which we've talked about ad nauseum on this show. But you're totally right. When markets are down, it's great to talk to participants about, hey, look, can we find somewhere to chunk some
Now's
more
the
money
time.
in here
Get more
because
for your dollar.
there's an opportunity.
And the other part of that too is, you know, being in the education part of this retirement space, where were their consultants, where were their advisors 20 years ago when they were getting to that part where they should say, you know, hey, maybe you shouldn't be in all large cap or international funds. Maybe we should start looking at some more conservative money. And
It made it pretty clear in that, Cush, as the industry transitioned from pension plans to defined contribution plans, that gap, that window of those baby boomers that didn't save immediately because they thought, I'm going to have pension and Social Security, it's going to be enough. The pension didn't accumulate to be enough.
Did you
that's
see
where a lot of this
Did you
hurt
see
comes
the
from.
part where the older broke woman said to the youth, "You need to save more. Like I should have saved more." So I'm going to ask a really hard question. People are going to hate me for this.
Yeah.
Is it the retirement industry's fault that woman can't go to her next doctor's appointment, or is it her fault?
And that's a tough one, without a doubt, right? And that's something I said to Chad. We had a good conversation on it. But at what point do we put some blame on them and say, hey, look, it's your responsibility to take control of your life and save properly and not overextend yourself.
She self-admitted that.
Right, and the other part is too. I mean, they obviously came from an era where there were pensions and that slowly faded away. They just properly didn't take care of that. And then your response was good. You just can't afford to.
Well, to your point though, JD, as an industry, we're trying to help the majority.
Well,
right?
that's the end cap on this.
That-
They talk about
yes.
legislation, right?
And that's where we need to get. Is it their responsibility? Yes, they need to be saving, but can we find creative ways to help them? That's what we need to be doing. State mandates, auto features, proper education,
Credits to small businesses.
all that's crucial. Before you transition, the one point that I wanted to make earlier about the disconnect, because this was mind-blowing to me, if would we say 80% of people believe they're on track, 4 out of 5, and then the statistic on the back end was something along the lines of like 45% of people were actually on track of the
There was
people
some
they interviewed.
conflicting data in
That
this
blew
piece.
my mind that everybody thinks, oh, I'm doing enough. But statistically, numbers-wise, you're actually not. Your financial future is insecure is the term that they
Because
use.
you have a fascination with participant education. You're into this stuff. The new act that's coming out that we hope will
Nobody
come
wants
out
to drink crack.
next month or later this year with all the features that Chad's talking about, the auto-enrollments, the credits to small businesses. Do you feel like that thing can have an impact?
It will, not immediately though, and it won't be. It won't be. It will have an impact if there's somebody actually giving this information and kind of hammering it home to the plan sponsors.
Great point.
If you actually just send an email out, for HR or your plan sponsor.
Yeah.
No, you
That's
just repeated it.
nice.
The guy who doesn't drink, now I got to drink. Okay.
You are holding a beer in your hand.
Some of that's true, Cush, but I'll challenge you here. But that's what auto-enrollment, auto-increase, savers credits. I mean, these maybe are programs that don't have to be pushed too hard because we're going to force them on these companies.
They are. Participants also have the option to opt out. They don't forget, and that's
They won't.
They won't. It's that. It reminds me of that old. Remember that guy used to get on TV and sell those rotisserie ovens. His catchphrase was "Set it and forget it." That's really how this works out, and it is a good thing if participants. If they don't care enough to actually go in and enroll in a 401k plan and actually increase their contributions or look at their investments, they're not going to care that they're being put in at 3% and auto-escalated 1% every year. So it will have an impact. Well, it won't be immediate, but I think it will. It's a good thing. It's
It's
a
all about how we
positive.
judge that impact, right? If we look at the coverage gap, it is having the state mandates and these things are having an immediate impact, but we won't see that for what we're trying to do, which is help people in retirement. We're going to see that for 30 years.
But we can gauge some of that data. So anyways, the last part of this little mini documentary was legislation. So I recommend everyone look at it.
It was good.
CNBC, it's on YouTube. It came out like 4 days ago.
I'll be
and-
noting the stats and using them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, it
Headlines.
took me a little
all of
while.
these. Another headline: Transamerica offering a year-end incentives to attract small business plans.
Okay. What's
check this
the
out.
incentive?
The incentive is Transamerica this week announced for small businesses that choose their retirement plan and health savings provider before the end of the year, retirement plan and health savings, Transamerica will waive administration and participant fees on their health savings account and flexible spending accounts for 2 quarters, and then you get the Transamerica Pass Plan Administration Service Support System for free if you join Transamerica.
Ongoing or just to start? Because that's a good little kick.
At no cost to the employer during the retirement plan's conversion period. I don't know.
Oh,
Sounds like we're
jeez.
solving. Anyways, we've seen incentives
Wait,
for
this is
sales.
yeah.
I don't think I've seen incentives for plan sponsors.
Oh, yeah,
before.
we have.
Yeah,
Oh,
this isn't
tell
new.
me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've seen it before,
certainly.
yeah.
The record keepers are coming out during
sure.
sales season and
Yeah.
saying, we want the business. We're willing to waive the upfront. We're willing to waive the first year, 6
And
months
this
of
always
cost.
comes out in the fourth quarter.
Right now.
Let's
It's
be
always
honest.
fourth
They're-
quarter.
Sales
they're-
season.
they're-
Sales season, exactly.
But they're they're end of the year. Numbers aren't there. You don't see every record keeper doing that because maybe they're hitting their numbers.
I have one
Maybe
other.
Transamerica didn't.
No, and it's not. I don't think it has to do with them even looking at numbers, Mark. I think they're looking at this as a sales incentive.
Yeah.
It's a
It's a
marketing
Oh,
budget.
Chad, what is sales? Fucking numbers. Of course they're looking at numbers, dude.
This thing does
Are
a
you
number on your
serious right
throat.
You ain't kidding.
My
Burns
throat's
you?
burning right now.
It's like
Um,
Jaeger, but
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, it is like Jaeger.
Yeah.
Cush, let's pivot from the benefit to the employers, to the plan sponsors, and I'm sure you're aware of this, but what if I told you that come selling season, come fourth quarter, all these vendors reach out to these guys and offer them sales incentives. If you'll sell X amount with us before year end or plans of this size, we'll give you guys extra revenue sharing, one-time payment. Still a thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't see this much now.
Are you okay? Does that make sense to you? Or does that seem a little dirty?
It's not as bad as the old pharmaceutical sales incentives they used to get, the trips to Cancun and the limo
Sure.
rides everywhere.
Chad gets
Does
this.
Yep. Love them.
Is it dirty? No. I mean, you got to do in this industry. It's cutthroat. You
Capital.
got
So
to do.
it's-
As long as it's coming from like a marketing budget, we'll
That's
call
what
it,
I was gonna
and
say.
not charging the client for it, like the 5 basis
Which
points.
they are.
They
Which
are,
we
but
all know that. They've got to
optics.
generate the
Are
revenue
they in
somewhere.
place right now for you guys?
Not with. I mean, Empower's the most recent one that sent theirs out. But not really with the folks that
I
we're
want the world to know
doing
when you
much
listen
with.
in, if you weren't aware.
If you are doing your job correctly, you don't let that impact
No.
what you're trying to accomplish in helping a client out. Like,
And
it's pretty easy. Like, yeah, if
Well,
there's
not
an
everybody-
incentive, great, but
not
you're not
every
gonna go,
salesperson
oh,
thinks
well, I
like
guess
that.
I'm just selling them now. Like,
I mean, we
no.
know Hackler's tainted by it.
For
He
sure.
retains that revenue
Yeah.
for
Yep.
sure.
Takes it all in.
No, but JD, the interesting thing is the wholesalers that know the third-party administrators that offset, that will use that to benefit their opportunity to win the client, will then be sending the email to the advisor, hey, your TPA is going to get an extra $500 for this
Yeah.
plan,
That's
and
the
they'll
problem.
offset it for you. So they're using it to sell the plan and not giving us an opportunity to decide.
I
Are we
think a lot of
offsetting,
people
keeping? What are we
listening
doing?
in probably would think that's the right way to do it.
But then why pay it? Just tell them it's a plan sponsor incentive then.
And not a
Don't
sales
go through all that back
Yeah.
behind the scenes
Well,
accounting.
I just want everyone to know
Credit
out there,
responsible.
these things do exist.
Yeah.
And we do get these little programs towards the end of the year trying to motivate you guys.
But,
I love what
but
you
don't
said.
make it sound like it's some big thing. It's not like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Right.
It's very, very small, if anything.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of silly, to be honest with you.
For sure, I agree.
Like you said, I don't
agree.
think it's going to change anything.
I did that earlier.
It'd be interesting to see what the numbers look like. if
It
they
doesn't
did it.
motivate us, although it doesn't motivate us. Everybody should know as well on the same topic. These record keepers do often require a certain number of plans sold per year. And I know that there are other competitors out there that will look at that and be like, hey, we have to sell 3 more plans with this record keeper in order to get our revenue share, period. Now, that's a big check. That could
That's a
be
motivation.
20, 30, 40, 50 grand
And not
to not
something-
qualify for
But,
their
I mean,
incentive.
Not something I
How
think
dirty is
plan
that?
sponsors
It's
would
bad.
want to exist in our industry.
I wish it
No.
didn't. Imagine how much easier
Okay.
it'd make accounting if it didn't.
We're going to spin the old wheel of ice, and then we're going to talk to Cush about participant education. Here we go, the wheel of ice.
Let's do it.
There's no song, right? We just spin it.
And what's it? Yellow means it's
Regular.
regular.
Fucking
And it's
A.
regular, Mark.
Oh man, this is like back to the old days
Good news is
here.
there's no makers involved here. You just pound
Yeah,
it.
thank God.
All right, Cush.
And they're
Why was
warm,
there
that's
one
fine.
missing?
All right,
Who drank
Cush.
one?
Mark last night.
You spend time on the front lines.
We did a
You
test run last night.
have sat with participants. You've been in these meetings.
Kidding.
Give us some taste of your history in this, your experience in this.
So this is what I started out doing in this business. Was I worked for a firm that did participant education.
That
And
was their gig,
that was
just
it.
education.
No, they were a provider, a consulting firm, but I was hired to do their participant education.
Okay.
And so what I found is,
Did you have to bring the pizza to the back of the room, or was it there waiting for you?
it was I never did that actually. Never
sorry.
had to do that.
No
I-
food?
No food.
I'm not
Go
showing
on.
up.
I'm sorry for
But
interrupting.
and so what I have found, and this started in 2015, and what I have found recently is, and I've always said this, that participants want a conversation, not a presentation. Providers a lot of times will send out presentations. They'll say, "Here's your thing. Read
We've
this."
seen the deck.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to do that. So. It was an interesting part, or interesting that happened in the last couple of years, because in March of 2020, all those in-person meetings all of a sudden came to a stop.
Yeah.
And when I say we were impacted by it, and I mean we, as in kids in kindergarten and all the way through presidents and CEOs, went to a virtual.
Oh,
Finish your
yeah.
thought.
Sorry.
Finish your thought.
Okay, presidents and chief executive officers were thrust into a virtual world, and that became the norm for the last 2 years. So you were now in front of a computer doing PowerPoint presentations. You were talking. You couldn't actually. It's hard to read a room. I mean, you guys know when you
Hard
do
to
the
engage.
Yeah.
when you can, and that's where the participant engagement part comes from. You're not able to engage or look at someone or have someone raise their hand and ask a question. People on these Zoom meetings, they might log on and go take their kid to soccer practice. They might go do the dishes. They may go get a shower,
Can't
do
read the
laundry.
room. You
You
don't
don't
know
know what you're doing.
So you didn't
Get-
like
get
that.
a
You
shower.
didn't
No,
like that.
I hated it because you can't get involved
It's
with the
funny because a
participant.
lot of people looked at it and were like, put all the positive around it, right? Like, it's so
Well,
efficient.
what else are you gonna do? You
They
gotta
can
put
log
some
in from
positive
home,
around
and you're
it.
going like, oh no, it took the air out of the room. Like there
It
was.
absolutely did, and you can't have someone grab you as you're walking out saying, "Listen, I have a question about this," or I have an immediate need right now. How can you help me fix it? They don't do that. They
I
just
would have
log
thought
off and that
virtual
was it.
kind of
So old
would have
school.
helped that, because so many people are so apprehensive during those meetings to, talk and
But they'll
ask questions,
chat.
right?
I naively
chat.
thought that they
Yeah.
would be more comfortable. Like
That's what
oh,
I'm saying. Like,
I
hey,
can-
cool,
But
I
they're
can just
tuned
text
out.
Mike.
They're
Distracted.
Yeah,
Distracted.
distracted.
Yeah, that's very. Yeah, that's a
Okay,
good point.
well let me ask you this then, Kush.
What'd you do?
Are we going to live in this COVID hangover, or are these live education meetings happening again?
They're starting again. They're starting to come back when the world's going back to work now. And again, it's funny that
We are
we are
going back to work.
going back to doing these things. But it's interesting that we kind of followed what happened in the school system. So when the kindergartners stayed home, that's what we followed that. Now they're all back to school full time. They're back in person. So it's like, okay, now if they're comfortable with it, then we can start doing it again. We can start going back, and people started going back to work. I know a lot of companies offer the option to do remote or come in person,
Yes.
and rightfully so, you have to. But yeah, we're starting to see that. You're going to start seeing more in-person meetings.
You are an advocate of the live
Oh.
meeting to a
Absolutely.
group.
An Acrosin, is that what you're saying?
COVID's an acronym.
No,
Oh.
is it
Did
really?
we decide? We debated that one a while ago.
I think it
Debated
is
that.
actually
I'll drink, but
something. It's something virus. Yeah.
I said blah 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 hangover.
Well, I
Oh,
repeated
you
it.
repeated it.
Now you get a drink of the
Hey,
Kraken
Will.
afterwards.
Hey, Will. Why don't you go learn? Get out of here, buddy.
He's learning right now.
Kush, I do know that in the old days, when we
have
had
any more?
downturns in the market,
Yeah, they're in the fridge.
Oh,
it was a time
hold on.
where good plan sponsors would get together and be like, what are we supposed to do? And education was usually the answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like, okay, markets are gnarly. We need to get someone out in front of them to like answer their questions, let them know to stay the course, and talk about those types of things.
Thank you,
so
sir.
you would think now more than ever, plan sponsors might be willing to move past the pandemic and the virtual stuff and get people out in front of their employees, given the markets are dealing with.
To be honest with you, I almost caught myself. The Employee Retirement Income Security Act
Wow.
I think you did
violations
catch yourself.
didn't stop because
Veteran.
of COVID. There's still lawsuits happening.
But you can't get lawsuited for not having education,
He said the same thing JD did.
right?
Coronavirus, but you said the abbreviation for it because apparently that is it now.
You can't get
Oh,
lawsuited
so
for not
good.
having education,
Dude,
baby.
fucking,
does
you
COVID
got some
stand
good
for?
ones.
Right?
You listen. If you have a good enough lawyer that's going to go out there, you're going to go. It takes one pissed off
I
participant.
just mean, let's have that conversation. There's no black and white rule that says a plan sponsor has to have participant education. Am I wrong?
There's no black and white rule, but if it's in the plan document and says that they're going to, the provider or the advisor, you have an advisor that's going to provide
Their
education for
educational
it.
document.
Yeah, it's if it's in there and you're not doing it, again, it's one pissed off employee that's going to say, well, my 401k is down 20, 30%. Whose fault is it? And
Don't get me wrong.
And you have
I
to give
think
them
it's
access, JD.
It's
you
your
don't have
fault.
to do the meeting, but you have to give them access to
tools, education,
guidance,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
information.
And they all do. I'm not sure. It's the right thing to do.
Here would be my question to Cush. You've lived through it now. You went into this virtual world. You're coming out of this virtual world. What are you doing that you feel like is working to meet these people's needs, to spend time with these participants?
what I find is there's two answers to that question from the plan participant and the plan sponsor. And what I think is talking to participants and talking to the plan sponsor to start with and saying, what is the conversation? What's the problem going on in your office right now? Because I can come in and talk about Social Security, but if you have a group of employees that are 20, 25-year-old, it doesn't apply to them.
You're talking about customization. You're trying to-
It's customization to what is their needs. And if it means doing 3 meetings, I had a client where I did 3 meetings. I did new employees, I did people under 40 and people over 40.
Right.
3 different meetings for 3 different demographics in the company.
What if you were 40?
Well, then you get a pass. You don't have to go. Yeah.
No, in your original point was, because I grew up with the old PowerPoint deck.
Guys.
How did it work? It talked about power compounding and asset
Still does.
allocation, and you could say this much to this much, and you try to
Because
get
that's
to
the general ed that
It's like the
people need.
classic PowerPoint deck where everyone's just sitting there like drooling and like
I think you all
watching it.
missed my question though, JD, and sorry to cut you off. That would be what we have done, and perhaps it is what we are still doing, but I'm saying we're in a different situation where not everybody is in the office. Not everybody wants to come spend time with people. You asked about masks earlier.
think we
Some
understand
people
that
still are wearing
100%
masks and
already.
don't want to be around
Sure,
others.
covered
So
that. I thought you said you had an innovative question.
we have to be doing something different. What are we doing different
So what-
as an industry?
Customization.
Customization,
That's
but
not
what
different.
what I've done, what I'm doing now is what I've always done in the past. So I would have an in-person meeting for a participant, for a provider. A plan sponsor. Go to the client, do an in-person meeting, and then I would go back if I was traveling into the hotel or go back to the office the following day or whatever, and I would actually record on GoToMeeting the meeting that I just did, delivered to the participants, send it to the plan sponsor. Then they actually can post it to their intranet. They can post it or they can send it out
Push
as
out
an email.
people that didn't come. Okay.
Right, for they didn't come, but it's also cover your ass point for the plan sponsor, where they can say, okay, you did receive education, where a participant can say, I didn't know, I wasn't there,
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
can
know that we were
document
changing
it
this
now.
Let
fund.
me ask a tough question.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask it over Robin.
Oh,
Do we really want to educate participants? I mean, do you want them educated?
Want to? That's no.
Or do you
No,
just
why would you not?
like?
No.
Because he's saying auto features.
No.
No.
Just make it.
What do
No
you mean?
education.
Have
No.
them do it. Help
You'd
them
rather
out.
them
The more you
I
know,
like
that
that
part,
part. Sponsors. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
you overthink things. The less you know, you just kind of sail into
yeah,
You're
but the
not
less-
talking
the people-
auto-enrollment
I
on
don't
acreage.
like
You
that.
just mean if they were just didn't know anything and were confused, it'd be
Oh,
fun
yeah.
to
So
watch
much
them
better.
squirm and try to find investments. And
that's what I do. That's
Yeah.
how I live my life.
It's a more
Yeah.
exciting way to go about it.
That's
Maybe
why you're
they'd
not on
have
track
more
for retirement,
fun.
Mark.
Here's whether we're right or wrong, JD. I think that we believe as an industry we know what is right for
Joke.
the
It's a
majority.
Joke. Disclaimer. Disclaimer. Joke.
I don't know.
Hopefully
I think
people out
you're
there
on
aren't super
something.
serious.
Sorry.
We
Yeah.
believe we know what's right for the vast majority as an industry. And we believe we need to communicate that out to that vast majority. And so if auto features are it, if education is it, which I don't think it is. I don't think people want to know.
I don't either.
I think they want to be comfortable when they reach retirement. They want to know that they're doing the right thing, but they don't want to know about, what's the Tommy Boy quote?
Fat guy,
I'm
little
going to
cup?
ask the butcher for this. Like, I'm not going to put my head up in cow's
You can
ass.
get a good look at a
Yeah.
butcher's ass by sticking your head up there.
I
No,
totally
that's-
agree.
Hey,
I
it's-
want
you
to
want
go
derailed.
that
I
bold
don't think
jab
they want it.
and say, fuck it. We should just auto-enroll these motherfuckers,
don't want it,
auto-increase
but
them, and just tell them, Tommy, Julie, don't worry about it. It's taken care of. We got you covered.
It's a
It's
pension.
not all taken care of. And that's how we get to the
That's
same,
what they want.
same
They want it.
situation, though.
So listen.
I mean, yeah, they do, but it's not
I
realistic.
never thought I
I
would
had a
have
participant meeting not long ago. We were talking about the market being down, and we talked about this a little bit ago, where participants, they stopped their contributions when the market's down. I lost 40%, and had I not been in person, no one would be there to explain to them, when you're making a contribution to your retirement plan, what are you doing? What's that money doing? It's buying something.
Getting more.
Okay, so it's down 40%. If you were going to buy a car or an appliance for your home and the price went down 40%, would you say, no, I'm not going to buy it now, I'm going to wait till it goes back up? No, you'd buy 2 refrigerators, right? So if
No, you wouldn't do that. That's dumb.
I get you. I get
because
you.
you decided somebody would
really
do
good
it.
point.
Backup refrigerator.
if I'm not in person to explain that scenario to somebody, they're not going to get it. So then they're like, oh, yeah, that
Wait.
does make sense.
We could auto-increase them when markets are down.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm fucking around
JD.
here, but at a certain age bracket, maybe
Yeah.
you could do that. You'd be like,
I mean,
why do
you
my
could.
deferral just go from 10 to 14%?
In order to
oh,
auto
markets have been
anything,
down
they
and
have
you're
to be
35
auto to
years
begin
old.
with.
Yeah, but now I can't pay my mortgage.
Yeah.
So,
I have
Kush,
less
I
money.
didn't mean to offend you with
No,
that
you didn't,
statement.
and you
When I'm
didn't.
talking about the majority, the quiet majority is the people I think we need to help with these. I'm not saying slow down education, because there are people like me
It's needed.
and that want to learn, that are going to ask that question, that need to hear that to make a change in what they would defer or continue to defer. I'm saying that we also need to couple that with what I think the majority needs, which is their handheld. They need to be guided down the right path.
Agreed, but the uneducated is how we get in the same, position the NBA check swing.
No, but she would have been auto-enrolled.
But she's
Talking
not.
about the old lady?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if we're going to make this just completely automatic for everybody, and they're just not going to pay attention to anything, they're likely going to get in a position because they think they're perfectly fine. They're not paying attention to
Maybe
their
that's the
investments,
issue we're in now. That's a good
I
point.
hear you.
and they're not adjusting what they're rebalancing their
I
portfolios or
don't
anything like that.
understand how anybody can think that just because something's done for them, that they're just okay. Like, that's
Because
why
they
I-
think we're going to do what's
I
right
know,
for
but I
them.
put the onus back onto them.
Hey, Mark,
It's a really...
You need.
are
to
your bills on
underst-
auto pay?
Huh?
Are your bills on auto pay?
Fuck no. I don't trust Bill. I pay my bills when I want to pay them.
All right,
That's a
so-
really good point, Mark. We need to
Okay,
talk about that
One more
after.
point.
No, I just want to make one other point about that too, though. So I'm 49. If you go
Ooh,
back 20, I'll be.
You're
I'll be
so close to catch up. So I had to
know,
say it.
I
Everybody's
love it.
thinking it.
But 20 years ago, when I was 39, did I anticipate a September 11th, a market real estate crash in
go down that
2008,
dark path.
or COVID or
Oh.
coronavirus in?
Hold on, real quick. I am not certain.
No.
It stands for coronavirus disease.
I know. I don't
think it
buy
counts. I
this.
don't think
you have
We're
to
gonna
drink,
research
yeah.
I don't think it counts.
Thank
No,
God, 'cause that stuff is
you
horrible.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
But what's your point?
But what my point is, the people that are younger, they need to think about these things. It's like, okay, well, these things have happened. It's the market moves. It's cyclical. It goes up and down like that. But when you have something like this that we've had, the September 11th, the market crash, or the real estate crash, and the coronavirus with the markets crashed, you have to plan for that, and you have to understand that now is the time when the market is down, when you should be saving more
You're
money.
talking about the what auto-enrollment won't do and auto-increase won't do is pay attention to the world around them and take advantage of those.
That's true. And as a young person, you have to be thinking about it. Okay, you don't like to say what's next because what's next will come, but what's the next thing that's going to happen that's going
To
to
your
cause.
point, that's individualized.
So you know what sucks? You know what sucks? The answer is
Somewhere
knows?
between.
we're supposed to do both. We're going
And
to
I'm-
auto-enroll them, we're going to auto-increase them, and then we're going to provide them education.
But that's and I think that in this conversation, that's what has come out, JD. It really has. Is that a lot of people need the auto side, and the folks who want to listen and will take some directive and will make changes need the education side.
And I
Okay,
would
but
argue
at the end of the day, though, you said it earlier. At the end of the day, auto's great, but I can still go, nah, no.
That's fine. That's
opt
on
out.
you.
You're gonna do that.
So
I
again,
can't help
that's
everybody.
why I'm saying it's more on the
person, not so
Not
much
more.
what's going
It's on the
on.
person.
Look, I wanted to wrap this one.
Make
Brandon,
it auto,
Brandon,
auto,
can you hear me?
Auto enroll without
You think
opt out.
you think audio is going to work as everyone floods in here? Who knows? That's Brandon's standard response to
harm.
things I ask me this.
I don't know.
All right, Nope or Dope. Let's play the totally original and, you know,
Cue it.
totally awesome Nope or Dope game.
It's up there.
Is it?
There's just no audio. There it
There
is.
it is.
You ever actually
Very
skateboard
Gleek-esque.
when you were younger?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, surf and skateboard the
Sure.
same
It
thing.
does. I
right?
love
You
that one.
skateboard as a surfer till about like age
Commercial? Yeah.
11 or 12, and then you realize you get hurt too much skateboarding.
When you
and-
fall,
then
it's concrete.
Yeah, the water's much better. Nope or Dope. Kush, I'm going to go to you first.
Does full sleeve
Even
by the
though
end of it.
you didn't partake in this, so it'd be great to get your insights on this.
Dapper.
It's late night. You're in Las Vegas. You're hungry. Waiting in a line for an hour to get pizza. Nope
Whoa,
or
hold
dope?
on.
Dope.
Secret
Kush.
pizza. Secret pizza.
Secret pizza.
There you
Secret
go.
pizza, dope. There's no pizza in
Yeah.
the world worth an hour if I'm
Worth an
starving.
hour?
No.
Obviously,
Dope
you
means
feel,
good.
you
by
feel
the way.
different, Justin.
Nope
Oh.
means I ain't cool.
He's
with it.
calling us dope.
Dope
No.
means
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm in. That's
My
dope.
bad. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
He
I'm not
doesn't want
waiting
to
an
do
hour.
it. Justin, you would do it.
Fuck, we did it.
We did it.
And we enjoyed
Yeah,
the shit
we
out of
did it because we had no other choice. It's
Well,
a for
hold on,
sure
hold on.
no.
Hey, did every one of you enjoy that pizza?
Absolutely. Would
Okay.
I have rather gone
Shut
and
your
gotten
trap.
sushi 3 minutes
Shut
before?
your trap.
Yes.
No.
Nope or dope on that.
Yeah.
You wait in line, you get the
It,
pizza.
it is a ritual
Yeah,
now.
because then I could just go, leave the line, go get drinks, go back in line, spill my drink.
Thank you for
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah,
It
you
did-
spilled
It
your
did
drink
help to have tall
everywhere.
cans.
Right.
Yeah, and check out our Instagram feed. Mark spilled all over himself.
And didn't
Nope or
clean it up.
dope, Kush? You seem like a conservative man to me, a good father. Tuck in your shirt, wearing collar, you know, respectable things.
Wearing a collar.
How do you think about this place, Las Vegas, as a whole? I see some scantily dressed people of both sexes walking around. There's a lot of naughtiness happening. Are you nope or dope on Vegas as a thing?
Alan from Hangover said it best. I guess that's why they call it Sin City. I am absolutely nope on Las Vegas.
Nope.
Nope.
Against it.
I just,
Sacrilege.
it's just
Everyone's
not.
going to hell.
No, I didn't. It's just not my thing. These are fun, but I would never come here for a
Okay,
family
okay.
vacation or whatever.
You wouldn't bring the boys.
Yeah,
I
no,
took my
God,
kids
no.
here.
Mark, you strike me as a dirty person.
In what way?
Nope or dope on Vegas. You dirty little scummy
I'm not your
person.
typical like Vegas goer, like, cause I don't gamble a ton. I don't go to like the clubs and all that. But I'm a Raider fan, so I'm a dope for
You're dope
sure
on
because it's just a place like you go. There's lights, there's noise, there's crazy people, there's fun people. There's just it's fun.
Well said.
And there's a lot of like this stuff that makes you drunk. It's great.
Chad, you're a dichotomy. I know this. There's two sides to you.
Hey, you get choice when you're here. You want to walk the strip during the day when none of that stuff is happening? Go for
it's
it.
happening
Take the
during the
kids to
day.
Excalibur and let them play in the, the carnival style game. I'm in. Now you stay out at night, things are going to get crazy, and you're going to see some things.
If you're out late night
I'm
in Vegas,
100%
it's your
dope.
fault.
It's great. You make your own decisions.
Justin, I feel like you like it here.
You know, Vegas is what you make it, JD. And yeah, we're here for a conference, but that's the good part about it. And we get to hang with all our friends and stay out way too late eating secret pizza. I'm dope.
Justin's dope, for
All
sure.
right, the last one gets a little dicey. Hopefully, Kush doesn't get mad at me.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
You know, you're on the old Instagram,
For sure.
it's not happening if it's not on the gram. But instead of posting pictures of your salad, or at the
Wait. Does
concert,
Cush do this?
No.
political posts
Oh.
on Instagram, It's to you, Kush. Yay or nay, nope or dope, political posts.
Dope,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you better say you're dope.
It's my own. It's my
It's your
own.
thing.
It's my thing. You know what? If you don't
Can
like
I
it,
ask you?
Yeah.
You
no,
may.
You
for
obviously
sure.
don't create these yourself in Photoshop or Canva. You find them and repost them. Like, how does this?
So there's a couple of different things. Sometimes I'll find a picture on another social media platform, or if I do a Facebook post and I do it with the background, I'll just do a screenshot and then post that on Instagram because
Right.
you can't do the colorful things on Instagram. So Some of them are I cut and paste, other ones I create myself.
Has Zucks or who's the Twitter guy? Or you're not? We'll just stick with Zucks.
I'm on
Elon. Have they come to you and what do you
Said
call
let
it?
me in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm in Facebook jail right now, as a matter of fact.
you?
I'm
Really?
in Facebook jail for posting something a year ago that I found on Facebook.
Better be careful. PayPal is now fining people $2,500.
for
Wow.
What?
If they
Justin?
find something that they don't like,
Why?
that you said, it's in
Justin,
their.
How can they find
We've
you?
lost.
I know.
I'm putting
Political
up a
posts on
finger to that
Instagram.
one.
Yeah or nay?
This is tough for me. The stuff Mike posts actually makes me laugh sometimes.
They do.
But not my thing. You know, I try to stay kind of Switzerland in that stuff.
Okay.
Given this world.
Chad, how do you feel about this?
I'm dope. It's your forum. If you want to say
Say
it, doesn't
what
mean
you
I have
wanna
to
say.
spend time on it.
Say
But
it
it's,
loud,
say
say
what you
it
want to
proud.
Yeah, hey, guess what? If you don't want to see it, just fucking move on.
say. Or defriend Kush like
Mark?
I do.
Yeah.
Not kidding, buddy.
It's come to my attention, you little liberal left-leaning son of a bitch,
Whoa.
that you have unfollowed
I'm not even
Kush.
sure what that means.
Did you unfollow Kush on
What?
Instagram?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
My joke was real.
Well, I think they're phenomenal, and they're one of my best follows.
My answer to that is the same. What we've all said is like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Do I want to see that shit? No.
It's like my
Do
brother.
but it's not pointed at
Kevin's
Kush.
out.
It's just
Kevin's out.
in general.
Yeah.
If Justin did it, I'd be like, scroll by. Like you just move on.
You don't want
Like,
it there.
I don't give
You want
a
it somewhere
I
else.
just want to see stupid shit. Okay?
What?
You're on Instagram for pictures of cats and
Jason?
chihuahuas and people falling and hurting
Lots, like,
themselves.
we're
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, but I've said this on the show many times, haven't I? Give Kush a follow on Instagram.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's so good.
Haven't I
I mean what I
promoted it
say. I do
several
enjoy your
times?
posts. Funny.
Okay, it's been fun.
really
People are eating their lunch. We're gonna wrap it up. Kush, as always,
Absolutely.
awesome. Love you being part of the crew. It's great to have
This
you
has
here
been
in
an
Vegas.
honor. It really has.
Sitting on the couch, which isn't
But
the
hold
couch
on,
anymore.
time out. So you say you don't drink? Like you occasionally have a drink?
How can you be as witty as you
This
are?
is
if you
the
don't drink?
funny thing is I'm drinking this. I still have about 3/4 of this
Right.
left. I don't like beer. Even when I was in the military, I never drank.
But what I'm saying, I'm giving you kudos because there are people that come on the show and that just don't drink, and you took it like you did.
Yeah.
So
Did it.
again, thank you.
The funny part about that is about my drinking is like I don't even like Coors Light, but you could take that
Who
water
does?
jug over there and fill it with Fireball, and I would drink the whole thing.
Fireball,
I
your
could
jam.
drink
we gotta do some more
Fireball.
research
I could
next
drink-
time.
I would have 3 of these on a
give
Fireball by
some
now.
Fireball to Chad.
Kush, I'll make you one promise.
It's crazy. It's weird, but
You win Chat Bar Champion again, I will send you so much fucking fire. You'll lose your shit. Okay, we're here in
Fireball
Vegas at the
swag.
Wealth at Work conference at the Paris Hotel. Let's see. We've got Jeannie Sutton, formerly known as Jeannie Fisher. Hashtag, do it for me, Chad. Do the hashtag.
It's right here.
Hashtag
right here.
401k lady. She will be on the show later today at 2:45 Pacific
we have to do
time.
another show today?
Yeah. And then
No.
tomorrow we will have the distinguished gentleman of 401k, Jeffrey Atchison. He's been wearing a sporty little shirt today, so hopefully he's coming fashion forward tomorrow. And that'll be at 1:10 just after lunch, so
Pacific.
tune in. And it's been another fun show. We'll continue day drinking. Thanks for tuning in. We are the Retireholics. We are changing the retirement plan industry. I don't even know if we're really doing that, but
No.
cheers.
One service at a time.
He's trying to.
One lukewarm Coors Light at a time. Thank you.